Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of a new Trekkie. My 5-year mission to search out Star Trek media, to seek out our fans and merchandise, to boldly go where no fan has gone before.
Greetings and salutations, how's everybody doing? So today, we're talking about Star Trek The Next Generation. So we're looking at 2 episodes, in this case, Captain's Holiday and Tin Man. Let's look at Captain's Holiday first. Well, in this episode, Captain Jean-Luc Picard is talked into taking shore leave on the resort planet of Risa, where he finds himself drawn into an archaeological adventure with a woman of questionable ethics and pursued by a nefarious Ferengi. So honestly, like, say, when I remember watching the episode, what was it? All Hands on Deck, which was a documentary about all the challenges that went on to making Star Trek The Next Generation. I remember talking about, like, say, how, like, season 2, they were still getting to grips of what they wanted to do. And I remember one point, and they said in the documentary, like, say, well, let's have fun with it. Let's send Picard to a pleasure planet. Yes, if this was Captain Kirk, this would have been the planet where he was going to have sex. Yeah, but basically Picard doesn't really want any of that. He just wants to relax, read a book, get into that summer's shades and all that.
Fifth woman to ask me that question this morning. All I require is to sit in the sun, read my book, alone.
And afterward?
I really hadn't thought that far ahead.
And although he has, he gets some advances, but at one point, eventually, he gets into a bit of trouble because a wild Karen appears.
Expected such treachery. Did you think you could sneak away from me so easily?
Oh, no, wait, it's actually a Ferengi. I'm gonna be honest, I like the Ferengis, but honestly, this dude, he just comes off as just, like, although they've always been characterized as, like, aliens that just, like, say, like, I want this, I'm greedy, and all that stuff, he just comes off as just, like, almost like a Ferengi that can end up meeting, Andrew Tate.
She's a greedy and unscrupulous woman. A perfect mate for a Ferengi.
You're becoming quite annoying, Silver.
And that they say, I want her. He at one point in the line, he says that. And I'll be like, saying, my gosh, they wrote him goofy. But honestly, I gotta say, this episode's very entertaining. They have, like, say, 2 aliens, the Vorgons, come from the future. They try to, like, say, the god, you must help us find this, the thing called is a Utah. And he goes, like, say, okay, sure, whatever. Eventually, they find it, and he goes, like, say, yeah, we can destroy it. Honestly, I gotta say, this episode was fairly entertaining. Although it would have been cool if it had been an episode where, I mean, then again, the romantic relationship is very nice for Patrick Stewart and Jennifer Hendrick. Now let's go like an episode Tin Man. In this episode, telepath Tam Ubrin joins the crew to investigate a bioship detected near a star about to go supernova. As the crew investigates the Romulans, friend Enterprise, and the creature, Nakamura Airborne aboards it with Commander Data. As star is about to explode, Mortis sends Data back to the Enterprise with the two ships out of the system. And basically, the two that leave together, the star goes supernova. So basically, he's a telepath like Troy is, and I mean, I gotta say the acting from this episode is honestly good.
It hasn't seen another of its kind for millennia. It's alone. It may be the last of its species.
Perhaps.
But honestly, at the same time, I thought I'm not really interested in this episode. That's strange because all this is very intriguing, you know. A telepath that is, you know, on what he about to basically who would be say, hey, I'm gonna tell it how it is. You're all faking it, XYZ. But at the same time, I just feel like this episode is, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna say this episode was just not very intriguing to me. Well, I mean, that's what everyone has their own opinions. I do have to say, though, that, I'm gonna agree with other critics and say, like, why are the Romulans here? I mean, because then again, whenever there is an episode in Next Generation, they always just say, well, let's just have the Romulans show up. They'll be the protagonist of the episode. They'll just randomly show up and then go, oh, okay. And then they'll leave. And then because story needs that to happen. But honestly, I'd say this episode was just alright. The acting was good. The set designs were pretty nice. But at the same time, I just thought this episode was, I wasn't really captured by it. But that's just how I feel. I'll see you there.